corazón, mi corazón.
Smells good. Garlic and onions fool everybody. Like you think you've been slaving away. That was the largest clove of garlic I've ever seen. Sorry you missed it. I'm gonna have good breath later. Beans. Adding some black beans. Cooked or canned. Whatever you prefer, whatever's easier, however ambitious you may be. This is basically going to be the filling. So while this is all flavoring itself and marrying and enjoyment, I've got a lasagna type pan ready here, and I have sprayed it with a little olive oil, and I layered it with corn tortillas. These are awesome gluten-free corn tortillas. I found them in Davis. They're called Mi Abuelita Bonita tortillas. My beautiful grandmother, my cute grandmother, makes these. No, not my grandmother, but someone's. It's from Sacramento area, California, so I'm not sure if you're not local, if you'll be able to find these or other gluten-free corn tortillas. I've cut them in half so that they line up real nicely in the pan here. And then just tore one into a quarter, and so they layer the bottom completely. And then you're going to layer this with some of your bean mixture and spinach, or whatever you want to put. If you just want to do beans, if you want to do cheese, if you want to do zucchini, if you wanted to do asparagus, depending on what all you like. If you eat meat, then add in some turkey, chicken, whatever. You can go ahead and put in like tomatoes, salsa in now, or you can save that to garnish the top with. And if you have Diet cheese, it's vegan, deliciously dairy-free. This is in California. I didn't see it when I was at home at Memphis. I'm sorry, guys. But it is completely soy-free, dairy-free, lactose-free, gluten-free, cholesterol-free. And I prefer to make a sauce with it, melt a half a package at a time or so with, I don't know, I never really measure, but maybe a fourth to a third of a cup of milk, and get a nice sauce, and it tends to stay more melty versus just sprinkling this directly on here. So I'm going to melt this up and see you guys soon to show you some of the finished product. Cheese sauce. I'll put in about a half a package of the Daya. Sprinkled in some milk because you want the milk to get hot to help it melt. And then all I did was put a little splash of pepper in there. So give that some time, it'll start to melt, and then I usually add a little bit more milk because it's easier to add small amounts at a time than to take it away. So letting that melt, and then don't forget, you know, if you're a big fan of peppers, you could put a red bell pepper in here. You could just use a powdered red pepper or cumin. I should add a little extra cumin. I don't like to do mine directly over the pan because then they just get sticky, so it gets all clumpy later, and it's not fun, is it? This makes a great dip, like old school rotel for my people back home, if you know what I'm talking about. Vegan rotel. Melt this, add some salsa, or you make your own salsa. Make your own nachos, make some guacamole. Now we're talking. Is it Cinco de Mayo again? Someone make me a margarita. Skinny girl margaritas. Have you tried those? Those things are so good. She's a genius. We're related. I wish. See, it's starting to get melty, and it gets pretty thick when it gets melty. So this is the point when it gets a little bit better to add some more milk in a couple of seconds. Alright, so see, it's nice and thick. I'm going to add a splash more. This is, sorry, leaking. This is so delicious. Coconut milk creamer. It's amazing. It's kind of like a coconut milk half and half, so it's going to give you more creamy. You could use regular coconut milk. I like that one the best to make the cheese sauce with. I don't really like doing almond milk. Maybe a rice milk. Just something kind of neutral, but yummy. But this is amazing because for every tablespoon there's only 10 calories, 1 carb, no fat. So it's like an amazing half and half replacement. And they sell this in Memphis. I got my mom into it. Alright, so I'm going to turn this down and let it finish off. As you can see, it's come into a nice cheese sauce here. Still a little thick, but that's okay. But this is going to stay nice and melty a lot longer than had we just used those shreds. So now I take some of my delicious cheese, and by adding the milk I've really stretched out the package too. If you're ambitious and you want to make your own cheese sauce, you can use milk and nutritional yeast, salt, pepper, a little flour to thicken it or not. But this stuff is really quite delicious. I don't like the mozzarella flavor as much as I like the cheddar. Alright. It's thick. Takes a minute. Be patient with your food. It's like the slow food movement happening live in front of your face. Alright. Now I'm going to, right next to me, find a few extra tortillas here. See, who needs to make a mess. Now, a few extra beans and spinach. If I had extra vegetables, I'd probably add them, but today is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday. That means tomorrow is the farmer's market. So I'm working with what I got left in my kitchen right now. And this is a great idea if you need something to cook. I mean, maybe you won't have tortillas lying around, but it's always fun to just try to work with what you've got in your kitchen. Try not to stress too much over what your next meal is going to be. Whoa, whoa, that's cheesy goodness, people. That's a lot. There's just a little left. So as the top of the pan starts to get a little more spacious here. But it doesn't have to be like covered in every particular corner. That's the thing about it. Once you smother it with all your toppings, you can't tell that it's seriously lacking physical beauty. Alright, so I'm going to put the cheese on the top before I put the beans. On this last top part. And as I said, if you have a can of tomatoes or salsa, you could put the salsa in with it, but I like to just save it for the top. Garnish it with some cilantro, salsa, avocado slices, lime juice even. You got a little protein from your beans, you got a little carb, you got some greenery, you got, you know, some fresh veggies once we add some of our salsa and stuff. Last little bit just to keep these tortillas a little moist. You can spray them with a little extra olive oil, which I think I will definitely do. Alright. This is a misto. Fill it with olive oil. And, you know, it pumps to get the air in there, and I apparently needed a little bit more, but that's okay. I think that's enough just to kind of like give it a tortilla chip effect. Once you bake it, it's going to be nice and crisp. And the leftovers don't stay crisp, but it's still delicious all the same. Leftover cold, you will surprise yourself. So I'm going to pop this bad boy in the oven about 400 degrees, I think about 25 minutes. And I'll check back and you can see. That's right, fresh out of the oven, hot, steamy, delicious, melty goodness. Check that out. This is my lunch, a nice pea. He always has to come by, doesn't he? It smells so good, he says. I can't help but be here. It even made him hungry. He's like, my bowl's empty. Feed me a bite of bean. I like Mexican lasagna. That's probably not going in the bloopers, you guys. You just saw that. Let's stay in real live action. So, I have sliced me up a piece here of my cheesy, delicious Mexican lasagna. I got a little cilantro I like to put on top. And then a little salsa. This is Casa Sanchez, it's local. So pick your favorite lasagna salsa, make some if you like. This is hot sauce from San Juan, from a restaurant called Roscoe's, which sounds Greek, but it was local Puerto Rican food, and it was muy bien. And this bag is empty, but these are some of my favorite tortilla chips. They're gluten-free, multi-seed, multi-grain chips. So, so tasty. And the last thing I forgot is a fork and some avocado slices. So you can turn your avocado into guacamole with a little red onion and salt and all that, or eat it like this, depending on how you like it. My most favorite part. I'll start again. Some yummy slices of avocado just to add on top, and you could turn it into guacamole. You can just layer that nice, yummy. Look at that. That's a good one. That's a really delicious looking avocado. Mmm. Mmm. Yum. If someone out there is watching and you don't think this looks good, it may not be visually appealing, but you must be crazy. Mmm. It's warm, layery, casserole, lasagna, whatever you want to call it. That's good stuff. Go make it tonight. Thanks for watching. You do that Buttercup.